Today, we're going to make this bike a little bit safer on the road. I'm going to add a flashing brake module, and I'm going to add some LED brake lights. Let's get back here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can see, I've already taken the bike apart, all right? Everything's off, so I can get the brake light off. And there's the brake light. And it was not easy to get this brake light off the bike. It's actually kind of a nightmare, but anyway, it's doable after you take off quite a bit of stuff on the bike. Here's the wires. I believe this is the ground. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna test these. One of these is the tail light, and the other one is the actual brake light. I gotta figure out which is which, and then we're gonna hook up that module that I have over there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the LEDs on here, on the bracket for the bags. I'm going to try and put the LEDs like going along here and then up a little bit. And then the wire is going to run up and into the back of the housing for the rear brake light, and it's going to hook it to here. So I'm going to tap into the wires, whichever wire may be correct, and we'll figure it out. First things first, I'm going to do an ohms test to find the ground wire. Like I said, I think it's this wire here. All right, that is the ground wire. All right, this is the tail light wire. And the one that's green and red should be my brake light wire. Alright, so the green and red wire is the brake light wire, black and white is the tail light wire, and brown is actually the ground. Alright, so this is the controller that's going to control those LED strobe lights. And this is going to flash them for, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 flashes, and then it's going to hold them on steady. So we're just going to 3M this right to the back of this plate here. I did put some protective heat shrink on here just to protect the wires a little bit, because they're going to go through this piece here eventually. That's where she's going to sit. She's on there, and then we're going to run the wires through the holes. Alright, we're going to tap into the ground and take my wire cutters, and we're going to splice this right here somewhere. So I'm going to split off 1 ground to the controller and 2 grounds to the LEDs. To protect this joint, I am going to wrap it. Not that I really need to because it's a ground, but I am going to wrap it with some electrical tape. Alright, so we got the 2 grounds, right, and the ground to the controller. So that's all set. Now we gotta hook up the power or the brake light to the controller, which is the red wire here. And we're gonna do the same thing with that. We're gonna splice right into that wire. Now we're gonna solder that. I'll solder that in place. That one I have to wrap up because there is power on that side. This electrical tape, it actually sticks to itself, like it becomes rubber. I don't know what the word is, but anyway, this stuff will never come off unless you cut it off. Just a regular LED that I bought. Trying to get it in black, but they didn't have any at the time. So what's going to happen is The LED is going to go like that, and then up this way. I'm going to tie that in place. Like that. Okay. Now, we're going to hook this up just to see if it works. So we'll hook up the positive. And we're going to hook up a negative wire. So let's just take one of these. It's negative. And here goes nothing. That is awesome. Alright, so now that we know it works, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the other side. Now, to do this side, I'm going to have to solder or weld 2 wires onto these posts right here. One is positive, one is negative, and I got to solder wires onto that section. Alright, now that those two are soldered in place, we're just going to put a little protector wrap on there. So I went out and bought these connectors, male and female, and I'm going to make this semi-permanent using the connectors. That way if I ever have to take off the railing for the backs and stuff, I can just disconnect it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's plug this in. Let's plug this one. Let's see what we have for lights. Oh, that is so cool, man. That is so cool. That is definitely going to increase my safety on the road. For sure. Alright, so what I'm going to do, just to make sure these don't fall off, the LEDs, I'm just going to put some small zip ties on the ends here. I'll put one over here. Alright folks, that's it for today. I got the LEDs in. I'm very happy with that. And I'll have to check it out in the video when I edit the video to see how good it looks. But I think that's going to make me a lot safer on the road. And I think the whole setup, minus my labor of course, was like 20 bucks. So, works pretty nice. And it actually looks pretty good on the bike. I mean, I wanted to get these in black. They didn't have any LEDs in black available, so it is what it is. But I am happy with the style and the price. You all take care. God bless. You all have a great day out there. Bye-bye now.